Attention deficit squirrel in New York. In that tree over there.
Oh, what is that? A warning! Oh no! Oh no! FBI? Who is this FBI? What are they trying to warn us about?
You know, I didn't vote for Trump. In fact, I didn't like him at all. It wasn't until maybe a week or so before he was elected that I came to the inevitable conclusion that anybody should have come to, anybody in their right fucking mind, and that is, anything is better than Hillary fucking Clinton. So, needless to say, I was happy that she lost, but still not so much happy with his victory. It didn't take long for him to win me over with his actions, however, because that's what you want, isn't it? You know, a politician can talk all fucking day, and honestly, that's about what most of them do, is talk. And as you know, talk is fucking cheap. And if there's one thing that Trump is not, that's cheap. And as far as actions, this is the one that I am most proud of. Is long overdue in my opinion, and an action that we probably wouldn't be seeing, well, almost definitely wouldn't be seen with a Democrat in office. And that is Trump just designated Antifa as a terrorist organization.
Hello, you there, boy.
Me, sir?
Yes, you, my good fellow. What day is today?
Today? Why, it's Christmas Day, of course.
Christmas Day. I haven't missed it.
Now, like I said, you know this is something that wouldn't be happening with the likes of Obama in office, who would probably have invited them to the White House to offer them millions of dollars for their cause and had tea with them in the fucking Rose Garden. Now, I don't know what makes me think that. Just a little hunchback at the office there.
I know you got Sally's record from R&I, but how did you know she handled the loan office heist?
Just a little hunchback at the office.
Thought so. I brought that little hunchback with me. Charlie, come out here.
Charlie, good going.
And considering that people like Ayanna Pressley, all right, good enough, AOC, Ill in the Head Omar, and I don't know, who's the other one? Zeppo? I don't know, whatever. You know, the squad. Considering that the squad all refuse to condemn Antifa, they obviously support them.
Will you condemn the Antifa attack in Washington over the weekend? It's easy to condemn terrorism. Will you condemn it?
Is it clear?
Will you condemn Antifa for the attack in Washington?
We'll be making statements.
It's easy to condemn a terrorist attack. Do you condemn Antifa for their violent actions against American law enforcement? Do you condemn Antifa?
What I'm condemning is a lack of journalistic integrity. You are not respecting my physical space right now, and I'm going to ask you to step away.
And I would even go so far as to say are active with them in some way or another. And I'd be Ill in the Head Omar's daughter sent a series of tweets supporting Antifa's efforts. So, I mean, right there, it's obvious that the avocado doesn't fall far from the tree. Now, this decision is coming on the heels of the violence we've seen erupting in cities all over the country after the tragic death of George Floyd at the hands of former police officer and soon-to-be dead man in prison, Derek Chauvin. I am working on a video right now about this hullabaloo that should be done in a few days. Anyway, let's get into this. Trump said the majority of people rioting over the past few days in Minneapolis were from out of state, and that they were, and I quote, harming businesses, especially African-American small businesses. Now, that's something that the pyrociliacs who like to set buildings on fire just don't understand. There's a face attached to that business, and that face looks just like yours. This is Corboy Bala, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, a former Minneapolis firefighter who just put his life savings into opening a bar that the rioters just burned to the fucking ground. I mean, here's a guy who spent his life serving his community, protecting the lives of the very people in that community who just destroyed his life, ironically, in a fire. Now, that's not to mention an apartment complex that was being built in the area that they also burned to the ground, an apartment complex of affordable housing. It seems to me that if you're trying to send a message, the only message you're actually sending is a message to the people in your own community that you're an asshole!
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has pointed to estimations that show 80% of the rioters on May 29th came from outside Minnesota, with the remaining 20% being actual Minnesotans. Now, I don't know how he came up with 20%. Maybe it was because only 20% looked pale, drunk, and depressed. I don't know. While that estimate may be accurate, his assumptions as to who makes up that group are a little misguided, as Democratic Governor Tim Walz seems to think that they are white supremacists, because of course he would. Attorney General William Barr had this to say about the delay in acting against these idiots. It is time to stop watching the violence and to confront and stop it. The continued violence and destruction of property endangers the lives and livelihoods of others and interferes with the rights of peaceful protesters as well as other citizens. Look, man, burning down an AutoZone and a Target is one thing, but once those animals reach the police precinct, there should have been a show of force. Allowing that to happen, allowing them to take over the precinct like that and burn it down, is allowing the rioters to have a sense of control over authority. And it's time to take the fort back and take that power back. And these riots have no rhyme or reason to begin with. Now, not that I would condone it if they did, but if it's going to happen, there has to be a catalyst of sorts. Not just, we angry. You know, it's not like Derek Chauvin is being acquitted or something. You know what I'm talking about? In other words, this isn't going to turn out like the whole Rodney King fiasco.
I just want to say, you know, can we all get along? Can we get along? Can we stop making it horrible for the older people and the kids?
And while people can be overheard quoting Martin Luther King Jr. about rioting being the language of the unheard in what seems to be like a half-witted attempt to rationalize and justify the actions of half-wits, I prefer this MLK quote, that hate cannot drive out hate. And hate can't drive anywhere with these dingbats playing in traffic! Yep, like I said, I didn't vote for Trump. But you could be damn sure I am this time!
Keep firing, assholes!